Welcome back to the channel, part 2 of the settlement wall build at Zamonja. Let's get building. Welcome back to Zamonja and welcome back to the channel Gaming for XP. I hope you're well, and thank you for the comments and support on the first video that I did on the junk fences at Zamonja. Everybody seemed to like it, so we're going to extend the wall a little bit further, and we're going to use slightly different material here, starting with this pickup truck here, and again still trying to keep it within the spectrum of what you would actually see or find around the immediate area of the settlement. So I will use the pillar a lot today, just to sink things down and get them, because we're on quite a elevation or quite a slope here. It's pretty important. And what I'll do is I'll pretty much put these very close or very tight up to the boundary line there, because as I say, they will form the wall as such. So luckily this will sink in on its own, so we'll just drop it in there to start with. And I think you'll enjoy the materials that I'm actually going to use in this build. And I'd encourage you, once I show you what I'm going to use, to really just think outside the box and try using materials you might not necessarily use ordinarily. Easy for you to say. Okay, so we're going to get this rather large trash bin, and I'm going to put it up there. Now, this is one of those objects that once you place it down, it's not movable again. The only thing you can really do is scrap it, and you'll see, so it turns yellow. So I've dropped it on our rug here, and I'm going to use the pillar to put it in place, and we will hide the rug. Now, I didn't show you the whole struggle I had with all of this. It did take quite a while because I rearranged it a little bit, but you can see you can clearly just move this up and down, or move the whole thing. You don't want the rug showing though, so you could remove it, or you could just sink it a little bit further down into the ground. But either or. So I'm going to try that again, and I left it in. I could just have showed you it in place, but I left it in because it's important technique. Because I know I've had some conversations with a couple of people that struggle or have had issues with this kind of placement. So I thought I would leave it in and show you how I eventually solved this particular problem. And sometimes you will have to do this. You will have to try different things and try and do it more than once. This, like I said, this actually takes quite a while, and I've cut most of it out to get right. But if I can give you the general kind of thinking that I'm using, I hope it, as ever, I hope it might be useful for you to solve a problem. There we go. Now I could have used the smaller mats here as well. Certainly an option. There we go. And the trash bins come with the workshop rearranged, so I think USO and those kind of mods will also have these available. And they, in other mods they may be movable, but certainly from our perspective it's not a movable object. So we're just trying to line it up as close to the truck as possible, because we're going to use this as part of the wall, so people need to be able to walk along there. Now I've got, there we go. Now of course you can leave it like that and hide all that carpet area with barrels or whatever, but we're going to put some kind of there we go, stairs up there so we can get up there, and we'll build a walkway from that bin along to the truck there. So there you go. I'm just trying it out for size. See that it all functions properly. Need to push that a little bit further across. And in the end, actually, we end up repositioning a lot of this, so I end up going with one stair in the end. But you've seen me use these trash bins a couple of times now. I know I used them at Starlight, and they're pretty good. And these breeze block stairs are excellent. So far so good. So here I'm going to move this particular wall here, and you can see it's got a little bit of a gap in it, and so I wanted that to be kind of a lookout spot, so you can look at over there and it's secure. So hence why I had to move a few things around just to make sure this fits in the right spot. I'm not sure if this wall is from Vanilla Extensions or whether it's from Astalan's Junk Fences. It's one of the two, and so that's all going to work out really okay. You can see I've only got a single step in there now. And you know, we could line this all up perfectly, but I think it's also good to not be as perfect as you might be in some when you're building, especially this. Simonja's very kind of scrappy looking, and it's only a little outpost, so it's really based on the skills of the settlers here. So it's okay to not be completely aligned and complete, you know, precision for your settlements. It kind of adds, I think, to a little bit to the overall look. Okay, oh, as usual, something else is fighting me, so we'll get it in. We get it in eventually. Persistence wins that. Back there. There we go. And now we have a fairly good. That's it. We're just anti-shimmer. I've got a fairly good walkway along there as part of the wall. And you know, this whole area, I wanted to make it look as though it was really just thrown together with whatever could be found to make the wall. And I also had a little bit of fun with it, so I hope you enjoy it. So we just get a set of ladders here just to get up to this truck and another access point. Now yes, I know I should be using the long ladder, and I think in the end I actually do. So I'm trying a couple of things here to so we're going to put a floor on the back of the truck so that will snap to the truck, which is working okay. There you go. There we go. The long ladder at last. I'm a slow learner, but I do get there. And you can actually walk around the side of the truck now as well. So yep. So we're going to put a little step in here so that you can step down here. And it should just snap straight to that floor that we put in before. Just like that. There we go. So again, you can use this as a little bit of a defensive area and just stand in the back of the pickup here. You can see I've just snapped in a fence there from, again, Workshop Rearranged has these fences, mesh fences with the barbed wire on, and I will add barbed wire to a fair bit of this build a little bit later. So these are great. These sandbags are great because they will glitch into each other, clip into each other just like that. You just got to remember to do your anti-shimmer trick and you should be good. So far so good. What are we going to do next? Okay, so we're going to fill up this kind of area we're in right now. And you can see there's kind of a gap between the back of the pickup and the boundary. And I just use these barrels, these metal barrels, just to fill in that gap. And they're actually great for doing that. Just vary the height up a little bit. And yeah, this almost looks like a scrap fence. And really that's been the inspiration for doing this to some degree. That I do like to look at what other mod developers are doing. Astalan and Vanilla Extensions, Aetheron are good examples with their scrap junk fences, and then it can generate some ideas of your own. So this is where I think you can have some fun and really push the boundaries of, you know, what could be used. So here we have the stove, oven, cooker, depending on where you're from, is what it'll be called. We'll put a couple of those in there. And again, that because we're in a hill, that probably is going to need to be, we're probably going to use the pillar for that and sink it down just a fraction. Now, it did start to get dark because it's raining. Go figure, it's raining and I'm recording. But I've brightened it up a little bit, hence why the menus maybe just look a little bit how you going, but it's as long as you can see what I'm doing, I think it's the main part. So we're just going to, I've sped this up because it's a lot of repetition. But yeah, just get the stoves, just sink them in. I want to put that up there, so I'm just measuring it to see if it'll fit, and I'll probably have to put it in with the pillar. You can see they're clipping into each other, so that one of the ways to do it is just to grab the pillar. Now of course the challenge always is when you're doing this is to have it far enough away from something that it doesn't pick up everything when you're using the pillar. So yeah, just drop it on there, there you go. And just continue that process with various domestic items. Now if you're wondering, well, these are, come on gaming, these are like dryers and stuff. If you venture out of Zimonja, just up to that, right in front of us, that intersection freeway, if you go up to the left there's actually a whole container with old electrical appliances, and hence why I'm using them here. Again, you know, following my rule that have a look around your settlement and outside your settlement and see what's available, what is just lying around. So I guess just to help the believability. So you can configure these any way you like and use anything you like. Completely up to you, and you don't have to use fridges and stoves. You can use whatever you think is fun for you to build with. And I thought it was important, I think, just for me to show you this idea, and I'm sure that many of you in the community will come up with some crazier ideas than this. So I'll be very interested to see if you do come up with ideas. Just let me know, or send me a link to them, because I know the community is full of creative people. So there you go. We'll put the last one in place. Just plug up that gap there, and we're done. Now what I'm going to have a look at here is just how this all flows through. So we're going to put some plywood across the top of these, so potentially you could walk on these as part of the wall. So at first I think, no, that's too big, doesn't really work, so the plywood ends up being the right solution for this. And again, it just adds to the overall scrappy look of the settlement, plus you know, that kind of really cobbled together look which I'm going for. And as I did in the junkyard, and as I'm doing here, I'd encourage you, if you want to build it, it's really just start to add layer after layer of elements into your junk fences. And so we'll just chuck the barbed wire in on top here, just so it kind of blends with the rest of the wall. And so I have barbed wire pretty much everywhere along here, so I'm going to add some more into this immediate part of the wall, in the part we actually finished the last time. And again, this is from Vanilla Extensions, these pieces of wire, barbed wire, fantastic. They're really, I use them a lot in especially kind of military bases like this is a military outpost almost. So and it just, I guess it just adds another detail to the wall, and they will snap straight onto the top of the wall just like that. There we go. And last one, there we go. Now I'm stuck, I think. And I'm going to put one right there for no apparent reason. Okay. Nobody blocking my way down the stairs today, so that's good. And we're getting fairly close to the end here. Just want to block up a couple of gaps in the wall, and then I'll give you the final tour. So you can use whatever you like. The wall boards are good for this, just blocking up those just little areas that the settlers might be vulnerable. So there you go, just put that in there. And you know, as I said, you can be as scrappy as you like when you're doing this. So please though, I'd encourage you to mix up your textures and mix up what you're using here. That's one of the keys to having something that look quite junky. So these barricades I haven't used much, but again, as I just said, adding just another unusual element to the overall look. So just fine details now, little fine details, and we're done. And again, you can see it's it comes together quite nicely, and you'll see in the final tour I do add a number of little details just to enhance it a little bit further. So I'm kind of doing my victory lap here just to see how it all kind of flows. And if you've watched me for a while, you know I do this a lot. Jump up there and off there. There we go. So okay guys, here comes the final tour, and we'll go through the whole wall just to show you. So you can see the original truck that we used in that jackknife look. Those canvas walls, as somebody pointed out, probably not too much protection, but I've used some of those junk walls, normal junk walls, and then in wood, and then it kind of transitions into all this metal and rusty corrugated iron, and then finally we have all our wall of fridges and stoves, and lots of barbed wire, lots of mesh everywhere. You can see right in there, and you can see I've blocked up all the area of barrels. Now I am walking through the main guard tower area, which I have built but I haven't put up on the channel, and you can see just add these little things around the place just to make it look a little bit more authentic. You can see I've got a rubbish bin and a wheelchair and all kinds of stuff, and they're all sunk down into the ground. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.
Yeah?